That's right, we're standing in Dracula's foyer. The entrance hall to his castle, which is obviously an integral part of the movie. He's built several interiors of his castle. We've got the antidote room, we've got the Dracula's coffin room, we've got Dracula's laboratory, we've got one of the rooftops where some of the action takes place. So all in all, we've got 8 or 9 parts of Dracula's castle. And this is the biggest one, which is why we're outside, because it wouldn't fit on any of the stages.
Here's Castle Dracula. At the end of the third act, our heroes, I don't know if you can see the little teeny guys right down there. This is how big this is.
With Stephen Sommers' movies, sound stages are way too small to hold his ideas. So we call it summer-sizing. It's great.
Even though the set is gigantic, it's not even close to being able to accommodate the size that the fortress actually is in the movie. So because of that, we're constantly shooting off this gigantic set onto a blue screen.
And we see this and we think, oh my God, this is the biggest castle we've ever seen, and it should be. And then, of course, we start tilting up and find out that no, this is just the entrance to the castle, that it actually goes up and up and up and up and up and up.
The shipping crates are just to hold up the blue screen, which you see folded up on the ground there. And rather than build the whole set, we can then repeat elements of the set on the blue screen and actually make the castle look many times bigger than the set you see behind me.
We built big sets. And so even though Steve is often shooting off the set, onto a blue screen, we're just extending a big set that we already have.
What you see here, when you go back to the art department, you see sketches of the whole of what the foyer would look like. So the columns you see behind me are 60 foot high, but in the movie they're 150 foot high. So obviously we've worked out perspectives and using perspectives and models what the overall look should be as a guide for ILM and the matte artists. We had 60 men working for 16 weeks. That's almost from when the art department gave them the drawings. Then we obviously had a lot of sculptors sculpting the torches and the sculptures that you see behind me and the various elements on the door. This is one of Dracula's torches. We want to be pretty dramatic. When it's lit up, it looks really good, I think. But it's, instead of frozen corpses of his victims, we've sort of made a tale that he actually turns them into volcanic basalt material. So it relates to the rest of the castle, really.
Castle Dracula.
We'll get a two-dimensional drawing or painting, an artwork, and from that we'll build this, which is a maquette. And this will give us the rough dimensions, so that way we're not building the actual model and then run into problems later. This way, quickly we can see what the model's going to look like, and then we scale this up for the actual model.
What an actual physical model or a miniature will give you that maybe CG won't is that you just get that real effect of light hitting a surface.
Coming up with the design for this castle, we tried to stay as close to the artwork as possible. There were certain areas that are called hero areas where the camera is going to be closer to the model.
We've got our lab tower over here. Lots of story happens inside that guy. There's a big battle between Van Helsing Wolf and the Hell Beast, and it's where we have all of our lightning strikes going and zapping all of our pygmies into life.
Right here, what we've done is added those tiny grain of wheat lamps. They're to represent torches, which are about the size of a person's head, a 6 foot tall person's head. And from camera, this is fairly deep in the back corner of the model, but if you have that little point of light, it kind of helps you establish, oh, there's something back there, but it's really far away. What we can see from camera is the nice light that's cast on the back column and the area surrounding it. And throughout the model, we try and throw these little pools of light in to help you say, oh, there's some activity going on in that room. There's a fireplace in there, or the pygmy guys are roasting something to eat.
The materials we used on this castle, the base is polyurethane foam. It's almost like surfboard foam. It's rigid. It's easily sculpted, And we start off with that as the base, sculpt into that a bunch of the covey holes and the little windows and stuff.
So this tower here is our Antidote Tower. The whole idea is that this tower is kind of the oldest of the bunch. Down here on the bottom, you get the sense that it's been carved right out of the rock, kind of a Cappadocia quality. And as they got higher, they had to build some, but you really get the idea that it's the most weathered, and it's even kind of a different architectural style than the rest of our towers, kind of rounded and a little more weathered. In the back here is our big castle tower. It's basically just our big tower. We don't have much in a way of a story to go there. It's just a nice backdrop for a lot of the shots that take place on the bridge in front of it. The bridge that connects these two towers, our Antidote Tower and Lab Tower, was designed from blueprints from a full-size set that they used in LA.
This is actually the bridge, part of the bridge that links the two towers. So behind me is one tower, and then in front of me will be another tower in the movie. It doesn't exist in reality. I imagine it was a suspension bridge, about 600 feet long. So we've created about a third of it. Well, we're 16 feet off the ground here. The background is 60-odd feet high, and we have various cutaway bits of sets, so the bridge looks much taller from the ground when you see it. In reality, when you see the movie, it's supposed to be 500-600 feet up off the mountainside.
It's the most gigantic set I've ever seen in my life.
The model makers have such an easy time with throwing in details, and you know, it just really feels like you're making a big movie when you make one too. It's just fun.
This is my 4th or 5th movie with Alan Cameron, and he's always just keeps topping himself. Not only every movie, but every set. Like on this one, it's just unbelievable.